The most important things that we can do right now is acknowledge that there's a severe issue, listen to those who are marginalized, and educate ourselves about the deep scars of genocide, slavery, and exploitation that minority groups have endured throughout our country's history. Luckily, it's 2020, and many people have put together resources that aid in this and make it really accessible. There's this article from Classical FM that taught me about classical composers of color, all the way from the classical period, and I mean like 18th century, all the way to the present day. I can't believe I hadn't heard of a lot of these people and how interesting their music is. There's another article from LA Opera that showcases living musicians of color. Emmanuel Acho, the athlete, made this really interesting video.
Welcome to the first of hopefully many episodes of Uncomfortable Conversations with the Black Man. In the midst of all this chaos in our world, so many of y'all have reached out to me, and by y'all, I mean white people. They reached out to me asking, how can I help? How can I join in? How can I stand with you? So I've created this for you because in order to stand with us and people that look like me, you have to be educated on issues that pertain to me and fully educated so that you can feel the full level of pain, so that you can have full understanding.
I'll link to the full video in the description as well as anything else that I mentioned. There is this amazing website called blacklivesmatter.card, and it allows you to link to different petitions that you can sign or different groups that you can donate to. If you want to donate but you don't have the spare income to contribute, don't worry. There is this playlist that someone put together where they promise to donate all the revenue from ads to organizations to fight for police accountability. I'm going to listen to this playlist while I make some reads. The fact that so many people are putting together these amazing resources really shows that this movement is really important. Beyond educating each other and ourselves, we as musicians need to continue to produce high quality music and collaborate with one another. Collaborative music really is a rainbow practice, and by teaching music and presenting the music, we can help society have a little bit more trust in one another. We can't stop there. We need to have difficult conversations with each other, with fellow musicians and with our audiences. We need to listen to one another and understand where we come from. Marching in Houston last week, I can say with certainty that this cause is supported by people from all different backgrounds. We all just want peace. White, Black, Latinx, Asian, we are all Americans, and our aim is to live in a society that actually reflects the mythology of opportunity, equality, and justice for all that we sell to the rest of the world. Someday soon, the protests will end. They always have. I worry that the momentum of the movement may be lost, but I hope that if we educate ourselves and speak with one another and incorporate these ideas into our daily practice of life, we can see some of the reform that is so desperately needed. We also need to become intrinsic learners and teachers. Kids are not inherently racist, and with each passing class and generation, they become more and more aware of the environmental factors that shape certain biases against particular groups in our society. I find myself wondering lately, how can we as educators instill values of justice, equality under the law, or even respect for humanity? As teachers, we need to not shy away from these topics. I don't know what the answers are. If you do, I'd love to hear them. I want to talk about this stuff. I don't want to brush off these topics just for the sake of comfort. Musicians often bridge gaps in society, but we, especially as classical musicians, need to recognize that minority groups are underrepresented in our concert halls around the country. Either minority musicians are just worse at playing or singing, or they've been systematically shut out of opportunity. And from my experience working with and listening to amazing Black and brown musicians, I can guarantee you it's the latter. Obviously, the situation is complicated by the global pandemic, so take precaution. Use a face mask, use gloves, monitor your health, social distance responsibly, but do not use fear as an excuse to do nothing.